wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to ATX Crypto. My name is Nathan, and if you're new here, welcome aboard and welcome to the journey. If you've been keeping an eye on the Pulse Chain ecosystem, you've been noticing that something huge just happened, folks. A whopping 500 billion PulseX tokens have been burned. And not only have they been burned, folks, they were bought and burned. Part of the whole protocol and the way it works is it's designed to be deflationary, meaning there's never going to be more tokens than there are today. So the fact that 500 billion tokens have already been burned in the first 5.5 months of Pulse Chain launch is bullish AF. But here's where it gets even better. We're still early, folks. We're still in the early stages of this whole journey, this whole rocket ride, this massive pump. And today we're diving into why now is the time to hop on board before it's too late. So don't miss out on the massive potential PulseX holds. Stick around and let's dive in. So the recent PulseX buying and burning has hit 500 billion tokens, folks. Let's pull this up on screen for everybody to see as well. But folks, 500 billion tokens has now been bought and burned right there. Now, even at today's prices, if we switch this up to USD, you can see that that means $8.9 million at today's current prices have been bought and burned. And what's even better about this, folks, is if you just get back to the previous sacrifice price. So if you just see where we currently are at 0.00001 and find out how many X's that would be from where we currently are at, then that's a 5.6x difference, meaning that 8.9 million would be actually, let's just round it up to 9, keep it simple, would be close to $50 million bought in the ecosystem, burned, never to be seen again. And this is truly just the beginning of a PulseX journey, because if you do not fully understand this, when Pulse Chain and PulseX was created, again, it has been a fixed supply, meaning there can never be anything more than what was minted in the beginning. And it's also deflationary, meaning there will always be less tomorrow than there were today. So if you can get your hands on any of these tokens now at this price, at this time, when only 2.4% of the supply has actually been bought and burned, again, look how early you really are. Now, folks, sometimes zooming out and seeing things into a long range vision, whether it's a year or 2 or 4 or 10, is where you really want to be seeing the true benefit come out in this ecosystem. And not only that, this comes along from just looking at it from where it currently is. So if you just factor in the fact that we're not even 6 months into Pulse Chain being out, you can see how many days Pulse Chain's been out. Again, right up top on gopulse.com, 164 days. And so far, dang near 2.43% of the supply for PulseX has been burned. It's incredible. Now, again, let's break it down into the coins, because 500 billion tokens of the 21 trillion are no longer around, never to see the light of day again. And what if it's 1 trillion by the end of the year? That means there's only 20 trillion left in the market. Again, these numbers seem large if you don't fully understand and comprehend the whole supply mechanics behind it. But in reality, this is just the beginning of you having so many tokens. Imagine there's a day where you were a person buying Bitcoin back 14 years ago, for example, and you were mining Bitcoin at 50 cents per block, or you were buying it when it was pennies or dollars. And then you hold it until today, and you're seeing, even during the time when it dipped down to 15,000, you're still up massively. This is what I see happening with a deflationary asset, folks. Meaning, as long as the demand is there, the supply is always going to go down, the price is going to go up. And if you can get yourself a potentially good sized bag right now during the next 6 to 12 months, you could be setting yourself up not only in the future for your wealth in retirement, but also your family and generational wealth, folks. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. Of course, we've been noticing a massive pump in the ecosystem. We got 17% today in PulseX, 13% today in the incentive token, 13% today in Pulse token. We have the Hex on Pulse chain sitting at 22% as an increase today. The ratio is going back to 1.6 at this point in time to 1, meaning the Hex on Ethereum is down right now, right below a penny at 0.0089. And folks, we saw not too long ago, in fact, just a couple of days ago, how close it can actually get with this ecosystem of the Hex pairs. And what's really interesting is if you actually look at the Hex chart as well, and we can pull up the Hex chart in this one, you can see the current price. Let's switch it to Hex and actually be viewing each other. You can see how close it really actually got and spooked several people. Everyone was like, oh my God, they did not even envision that Hex on Ethereum would get back to almost a 1-to-1 match at where the price currently was. And again, this is just the beginning of what's really going on. So don't let this kind of fudge you out. Don't let it stop you from making some decisions or stop you from being wise enough to just decide that the future is what you're looking for. The recent burning of 500 billion PulseX has created even more scarcity. Now, whether that's pumping the price up, whether or not it's just the fact of low liquidity, or whether or not we've reached the bottom of the Pulse chain bear market for where we've been sitting, this is literally just the beginning of what is to be. Now, y'all seen recently what it's like to experience a 2x within the span of 6 days, 7 days. In fact, some people even saw a 3x during that time on the Hex price. And this is, again, just a glimpse as to what it's done in the past. For those folks who were around when Hex was first created, or even in the earlier stages, y'all remember when it would do a 2x every 40 days. So all it had to do was a month would go by and you'd get a 2x. And another month would go by and you get a 2x. And in fact, there were some months where you would get a 10x. And I cannot wait to see every single one of y'all get to experience that, get to have that happen, and built into an asset that you can hold long term. So you don't have to determine, is this the time where I exit my meme coin? Is this the time where I do stop picking up pennies in front of freight trains? Guys, this is not a fluke, folks, but a testament to the strong fundamentals in the vibrant community backing PulseX, Hex, and Pulse Chain. And guess what? We're just getting started. So, folks, let's talk about why we're so early into the game. The crypto landscape is, of course, vast, constant, and ever evolving, as you know. PulseX is right at the forefront of all of this revolution. And as a once great inventor said, Thomas Edison, opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. But here we are, recognizing the opportunity that's presented itself in front of us, ready to dive in and reap the rewards to what is to be the future of our endeavor, the journey that we are going on. And I cannot wait to see everyone in this journey in the future as well, because we are so freaking early to the ecosystem. Imagine, guys, we are 5.5 weeks in, or 5.5 months into a brand new layer 1 DEX ecosystem. Now, I know there's plenty of new projects being built. In fact, there's probably 200 projects, and we know 5,000 coins have been launched. So there's tokens going out everywhere at this point in time, but I am focused on the 4 pillars in the ecosystem. That is Hex on both chains, Ethereum and Pulse Chain itself, and PulseX. That's my 4-pillar foundation that I stress to everyone. Make sure the foundation is solid before you start diving into some of these other items and projects and pennies in front of freight trains. Because as you recently hear all the time through streamers, they say they've got their stakes. They say they've got their Hex stake. They say they've got their Pulse Chain and PulseX. They say all this, and then they're willing to go gamble and take a little, money and move it over into a different coin, and that's okay. But they have the foundation set. A lot of the times people are missing that foundation. So when everything hits the fan and S hits the fan and it just goes to hell, get ready, folks, because that's just the beginning. Let me say hello to some beautiful people in the chat. Thank you so much for every single one of y'all coming through here. As always, Crypto Chino, wait, what the hell is bullish? Here, let me just pull this up real fast. What the hell bullish sentiment back in the RH ecosystem? Today I said to myself with nearly tears and relief and happiness, it's going to be okay. And that's what everyone needs to understand. And I know people are doing this, and Brandon from Rags to Riches has said he's taken receipts and screenshots of what was the bear market for everyone, the true colors of some individuals who truly showed all their emotions on their sleeves and wore it just for everyone to see. He's took screenshots of everybody in order to recap and say, folks, when we enter the bear market in 2027, for example, this is going to be another little venture that we're going to look back on. And the reason why I say we're so early is because in crypto landscape in general, you have to imagine that we start at the Bitcoin halving for people to start getting bullish in crypto. And the Bitcoin halving this year is happening in April of 2024. So within less than 6 months, or around 6 months time, we're looking to start the Bitcoin halving. Now, most people have caught on to this. So they start building up a position right now, 6 months prior to the Bitcoin halving. And then they allow themselves for the next 18 months to make money, y'all. Which is why if you DCA for the next 6 to 12 months, yes, the price may in fact be higher during that journey of DCAing that entire time. And the reason why that doesn't matter is because if you start out and you DCA and you're buying 10x higher at the current prices, but it's still 10x higher, and your average during that entire time is only a 2x from where the current price is right now because you've continued to DCA, when it goes off to do another 10x above that, aka 100x, you are sitting nice and pretty because you've continued to accumulate a portfolio to a position and the number of tokens, because that's all that matters, folks. How many tokens do you have? What's the price that you're selling at? What's the price that you're buying at? You could say it both ways, but all that matters is how many tokens you have and what is the price in the future. Get to that level. And I saw someone on Twitter earlier today, as a matter of fact, and just said, at a billion pulse, if Pulse Chain ever reached 0.004 cents, I would be nice and pretty. And you look at that, and that turns into $4.4 million. And to them, they've made it at the $4.4 million mark. And that's a great goal to attain for everyone. But don't sell yourself short for what is the future in this ecosystem, buying a deflationary token that is only going to get less and less and less and less and less over time, and the demand's going to continue to be there. This is the opportunity of a lifetime presented itself even right now in the recent pump. Yes, you may have missed the most recent 2x opportunity that was there for several individuals. Do not stop yourself from investing because you missed a 2x. That would be ludicrous to say that. And I know so many individuals will hold back and say, I'm going to wait for the dip, and the dip's never going to come to the number that you may want, to the number that would actually get you back in. And half the time, if you don't take action now, when that opportunity shows up, you won't take action then, because you will believe in your heart that the price could go even lower. So you won't take action because you've sold yourself out. You've stopped yourself. So folks, sometimes just taking action is the right step to do. Just getting in, putting your foot in the door. This is the opportunity that's there for folks right in front of them. And the recent 1 to 1.1 ratio, in fact, I even saw a screenshot of someone saying 1 to 1 ratio. And I know it was for just a second on the hex pairs, but folks, it happens fast. We're only about a 10% move away at that point in time from them being the exact same price. And for many people, they did not even envision that being a day to ever happen, ever. And if you're like anyone who's been in this ecosystem for a while, we know they're going to move against each other. So be there, be present, and don't miss out on the opportunities that's all in front of you right now. Okay? That's just another indicator of the exciting times that we're in right now. It's not just about the gains. It's about being a part of something groundbreaking It's about being early. It's about being the person who is not just an investor, but the pioneer in shaping what is crypto into the future, folks. I got to say what's up to some more beautiful people. What's up, 151, Oysten Larson, my friend, Benny Davis, hey, TX, and everybody. Exciting times for sure. So excited. We pumping again. Absolutely. PulseX on fire. Miss Gloria, hello. Evening all. Archie, how you doing? TDM10, let's go. ATX, PulseX, pump, baby. $8 million have been burned. Again, folks, that is gone, never to be seen again for that PulseX. We're already at 501 Billy. We absolutely are, Crypto Khalil. We got Heximus saying LFG, your pump video and me. I don't know who made that, dude. I put it on my channel because, listen, I want to share that pump video right now because that was such a killer video. So, in fact, I'm actually just going to go ahead and play it right now for everyone to also see. Hey, whoever made that video, shout out to you, my friend. Shout out. Big kudos to that because that thing is fire, my friend. Absolute fire. We got a super chat from Crypto Jake. How you doing, my friend? Saying smash the like and subscribe. I'm loving my ink bag growing. Buy that dip, long-term holder. And guys, that's for so many people, they don't understand this concept because they do have recency bias, y'all. It does come down to a recency bias. You've been burned for so long. Half the times when you have made purchases, the price went down further. And this continues to be a thing. But you have to understand that at the end of the day, if you continue to buy an investment that you do believe in going into the future, that you are building a position to set yourself even further ahead into the future when that price reaches those prices. So I've said this in the past, but just imagine the numbers when we do start seeing Hex back at previous all-time high of 50 cents, 56 cents. Imagine when you see SAC price above Pulse Chain, just 10x above. People are going to lose their minds. And that is, it's okay, folks, I'm telling you, because there's going to be a lot of money to be made. There's going to be a lot of money to be seen. And I just want to share with everyone to keep their head on a swivel. Make sure they stay in their lane. Again, when you start feeling this euphoria type phase, it's a good time to maybe take a little bit of profit if you truly feel that type of way. I've always been a believer in taking profits. There's a good way of doing it to maximize your future potential going forward into crypto. But no matter what, at the end of the day, you got to make that decision that makes sense for you. Okay? You have to make that decision that makes sense for you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, even incentive tokens doing good, man. Because again, it's tied through Hart's Law, but for sure, we got the bull market coming back. Please deploy the like on entry. Thank you so much. Bitcoin having 1 trillion burned, very realistic. So basically, do we just saying the exact same thing? Like by the time we reach almost a year into the Pulse Chain launch, which was May of 2022 or May of 2023 this year, it's going to be looking like a potential of 1 trillion burned. And again, that's 5% of the supply potentially just gone. You know what I mean? And forever, never to be seen again. But not only was it burned, folks, it also bought as well before it actually burned it. So every single time that you see this $8 million or $50 million, just imagine that was money that was bought for the asset. It bought PulseX and it burned it to the null address, never to be seen again, never to be touched again, and never to be accessed again. What's up, Kaisa? How you doing, my friend? Drix, absolutely. Imagine in a bull run. WTF, dude. Absolutely. Good to be here with my DGM friends today. Muma, amen. Exactly, ATX. We're still so early. This pump is nothing compared to what we'll be seeing in the coming years. Imagine a bull run It's going to be insane. PulseX, easy 500x. And again, guys, that's something that when you start looking at some of these numbers, like 500x, 100x, whatever the case may be for all of them, there's always levels that you're going to be attaining before that, right? So the 500x is here, and then the you're going to be looking at a 250x, and then a 100x, and then a 50x, and at one point in time a 10x, and you have to be able to make it to that 500x. And I want everyone to make it to that point in time to truly be able to benefit from it and see it to the end. That's why I stay in the situation that I do, because if you bought for the next 6 months to 12 months, that's a limiting factor of you selling, because now is not the time to sell. Yes, there's a difference between taking a small portion of profit and selling. And we're going to get into the time of selling in 2025, possibly even 2026. And we're going to be discussing that in later videos going forward, because it seems as if the Bitcoin halving is actually going, or the Bitcoin bull market time is actually expanding all the time. So we're going to be diving into what that could potentially mean, making sure that we're making the best plays and decisions for ourselves going forward as well. But yes, imagine the bull run, folks. Imagine what that does. And I've shown you in the past, if you currently are sitting even on Ethereum Hex right now, folks, just getting back up to the previous all-time high at the current price where it is right now is a 62x, my friend. A 62x your money, my friend. So just do that on whatever you want, okay? Like do that with, I don't know, $5,000, for example. And what if you had for the next 6 to 12 months, invest during that time to make sure that you have it. Yes, you may not get the full 64x as if you were to buy it right now, okay? But at the same time, if you spread it out and you ended up getting a 30x on that $5,000, you did really freaking good, my friend. You did really freaking good. But even if you bought now with 5,000 at the current price and it goes back up to the previous all-time high, you turn $5,000 into $311,000, my friend. Like, congrats. That's incredible. How you doing? Made it to the live Pulse Nation. Couldn't make my 1 billion Pulse goal. Damn it. Only 800 million FML. And that is the goal. Lord of the Ponzi is exactly what we're discussing right there. Continue to invest for the next 6 to 12 months, my friends, because that is where the money is made. There is opportunity present right now at current prices, just reaching previous levels that have been touched already. A difference of whether it be 10x all the way up to a difference of 60x, as we just discussed. So that is already present right now, but don't stop purchasing during that time, because you can, for the next, if you really wanted to, for the next 3 to 4 months, continue to DCA and find a way to make sure that you attain 200 million more Pulse. And the benefit to that is exactly what you're looking for. Then you've attained that level of 1 billion. And what if that only took you the next 3 to 5, 6 months during that time of just an easy DCA strategy? You don't have to go get it all at once right now. If you can, go. That's clearly an easy goal to attain, though. You need to shoot for a higher goal at that point in time, right? There should always be a level that you should be aiming for, because now is the time to accumulate, my friends. Because what's coming in the near future is going to shock everybody. Again, I've said this in the past, but last time when Hex reached 1 penny, it took 300 days for it to reach its previous, or to its all-time high. So it took 329 days. Well, Hex just recently hit a penny again on Ethereum. And to me, that just means cool. For the next 300 days, we're looking at a potential 50x right there in front of us. And that's what I mean whenever I say, like, you can still accumulate 200 million Pulse, because if at the time that you get it right now, and if by the time you want to sell, whether it's 2025, 2026, 2029, you're going to have $1 billion at that point in time, my friend. And you can do a lot more with it, where you don't have to sell as much to be able to benefit and reap the rewards. So the problem is, if you maintain a smaller stack, maybe only, we'll say 50 million Pulse, for example, and you don't try to ever attain any more because now the prices are pumping, then you have limited yourself to either now needing it to hit a 500x, or you're limiting yourself to where you may be missing out on the potential rewards, or you just have to wait a little bit longer. It's okay to have to wait 6 months. The way it works in crypto is first you learn the first cycle that you're in crypto, you learn. That is how it works. You learn the first cycle. The second cycle, it's called you earn. You earn in your second cycle. The third cycle, that's generational wealth. So for the individuals who can make it to the third cycle, they're crushing it. They should be, at least, if doing things the right way and not stepping in front of, picking up pennies in front of freight trains and getting distracted by new shiny objects, because that is the goal. The first one you learn, second one you earn, third one you generate wealth. And that earn, by the way, is enough for many people to choose to do whatever they want for the rest of their lives. Because it's possible that you're going to see making $800,000 into an account. And what's beneficial about the 800,000 is, for the most part, it's a lot more of your salary than you've ever made in the past. So you can actually live on your double your salary for the next 4 years if you want. Have fun with it, y'all. Make sure you're doing what you can. Have any thoughts on the pullback? Yeah, there's always some thoughts, man. There's always risk for not a risk for pullback, but there's always the consideration of a pullback. It happens all the time when things like to run up on a very rapid pace. There's typically people who want to sell and freak out. Why? Because we've been in a bear for 700 days, my friend. So they see a pump of 2-3x in the span of a week. Yeah, they're probably like, okay, now's the time to get out. Those are the people that are going to wreck themselves. Those are the people who are pulling up these little trade strategies, trying to make it happen all the time. So yes, there should be a pullback. There typically could be, but could it take another month for it to happen? For sure. Like, for example, let me pull up a quick chart and I will show you exactly what I'm referring to on this particular question here. So, let me go back over here. All right. So let's just go with, that was April 2021, and that was a good, 6x bump. So we'll use this as an example here. So if you go to hexchart.com, you can go back and see Hex's history all the way from launch. But if you imagine this being the ecosystem that we're in right now, whether it's Hex, Pulse Chain, PulseX, just imagine that we've been in this little bear for a little bit of time, however long you want to determine it to be. And imagine this is the pump that's actually starting right here. This is actually now the pump that you see happening. You can literally see it go all the way up. And this is going to take, this took 15 days for it to go do a 6x. And then guess what? It does a pullback. And during that pullback, you see a possible 57% dip. Oh, a little bit more than that. Let me turn on the magnet. And cool, 57% dip. Okay. Well, what happened there? There was only 10 days. And then from there, it did a little pump again, another 2x essentially almost. Then it did a pullback. And then it went off and did another run where it actually likes to do it again. So could there be a pullback? Sure. And again, folks, I say this because it does happen, but like just going back to these days here, like this is a big payday, and you can kind of see that was the big dip that happened. If you were in during that time, you probably made a killing on it, because this is actually when you can start seeing that even if you imagine the dip starting here, like let's just go with this example. So yes, there was a pullback, there was a dip. We've been reaching this little end of the bear. That's a 3x gain. Well, what are we seeing right now? Roughly people seeing a 3x gain. And then what do? They decide to sell. They get down 40% where they decide to sell. We saw that was already a 6x difference here just by going and doing that pump alone. But if you didn't sell during that time, then you actually ended up doing a 10x in the span of like 60 days. Okay. So do I see that there could be some pullbacks? For sure. But guys, when these things like to move, it moves, and it moves fast. So keep that in mind if that is something that you are in fact considering or looking at. Just to keep that in mind as well. Pulse tokenomics are the best in crypto. Facts on facts. Pump it up. Exactly. Yep. There we go. Butter. Yeah. Money printer. Was that you dancing on the meme? Facts. Yeah, that did look like me, didn't it? Straight up. Westcott sent a little meme out earlier. I was talking about we're pumping. Shit looked like me. I was laughing. Free Palestine. Okay, cool. Got a lot of free Palestine. Hello. Don't really care about all that as well, because you're only talking about it because that's what the media is talking about. So think for yourself. Recency bias for sure. For sure. The pothead, how you doing, my friend? All right, my friend, you have been banned because I could care less to someone who does spam comments. And Dweej, I already got it. You know, unfortunately, I didn't get the initial spam when it first went through, but they have been removed. Hello, Godfather. How you doing, my friend? ATX, do you think the past week has been official start of the bull? Certainly looking that way. I mean, with how everything looked, Bitcoin held up to its recent levels, going through its little recent debacle of holding 30,000 or not. Seems to be doing pretty darn good at actually holding its 30K right now. In fact, yeah, sitting at 31,000 right now. So if I'm just looking at it from, you know, a standpoint of the overall crypto market, Bitcoin has done a good job here. If I go over here and just go to ETH, for example, Ethereum's holding up at 1,600. I mean, yeah, they're all holding up at this point in time, and it literally does just kind of start from here. And then once it starts, it goes fast. So people have already known and started to learn that things happen in a cyclical type environment, meaning that people will start purchasing 6 months prior to a Bitcoin happening. And people are exactly doing that conveniently. It's happened so many times in the past, and it looks like the cycle has continued. So for sure. Uh, yeah, especially for our ecosystem. What's awesome is like now we're differentiating a little bit between the correlation, and we already kind of have decorrelated, but we are still correlated to some degree with Ethereum because of how the bonding works through liquidity and the wrapping of the tokens that we've brought over. So we do have some tie to Ethereum, and it's something to keep in mind. But again, I think we are starting to see things move on its own without news of anything else, and I love that as well. So I definitely believe that we are early as well. I'm broke AF and can't afford to DCA anymore, LOL, but I'm good with my bag so far. Now we wait. John Nees, do not. It says get another job. Too funny. Do not put yourself in a position to ever stress about that, y'all. Like, I don't know. This needs to be said, I guess, but like, never make if you got rent due on the first, you probably shouldn't be putting your money in today trying to think you're going to get a 2x out of it. 9 times out of 10, it'll drop 50%. So you put that rent money in, a week later, you lost 50%, and now you're just SOL. So don't put yourself in that predicament. Don't put yourself in that position. Just wait. If you can't afford, then just wait. Be happy with what you have. Sometimes time is on your side. For people who stake small, time has to be on your side because you cannot do a 10,000 hex stake on a rolling 30-day ladder or a rolling 10-day ladder or any rolling ladder for that matter. You got to go long in order to reap the rewards. That's all it is. And so just because the capital isn't there, the bags aren't there, that's okay. You just got to go a little bit longer. So just be ready for that. And don't let everyone else kind of fudge you out on this. Crypto Wonder, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, I got a nice bag, but I need to save more money for my business. Exactly. Keep doing that. Once it goes, yeah, it just goes. It really does, my friend. Crypto Wonder podcast. Salute. Absolutely to you, my friend. Salute back. DJ, my free NFT set, the bottom. Cool. There you go. Crypto Gains. Wonder what's going hard on that last stream. Yeah, I got to go check it out. I haven't seen it this morning yet, as a matter of fact. So Wonder, I will go watch that here whenever I wrap up y'all's. And I highly advise y'all all go do the same as well, my friends. What else we got? We got Pulse Chain Future Millionaire. ATX, I'm new to your channel. Do you think Pulse and PulseX will do a 2-to-1 ratio? 2-to-1, yeah, possibly. I mean, right now it's probably doing, if we actually look, what, 1 to 1 point or 1. Yeah, let's just pull it up real fast. We don't even have to guess. We go PulseX here, pull it up, share y'all so y'all can see, and pull it up over here. And again, switch to the WPLS so you can actually see the ratio. There it goes. So yeah, I mean, 1 to 2 is just up here. 1 to 2 is all the way back up to previous high where it basically was. So like that was damn near as high as it's gotten. So it's never technically done a 1 to 2 ratio. So being that it's never done it doesn't mean it can't. But I would see it probably retracing where it's done it in the past. And usually what that looks like is it can just be like do like you see right here, and then it just starts coming back up, and then we just kind of flow here in this little move for a while, you know. And if that ends up happening where you just kind of end up going back and forth between them, where you end up not even necessarily like let's just pull it up like this. Let's do here, and yeah, so imagine it goes like this, and then it's gonna go here. And this could be a little range where you do a little swap if you want, and then it comes back down. And it just kind of plays here in the low range for a while, and then it comes back down. I could definitely see that being a thing. For sure. Something like that. What else we got? Disciple, yeah, I know. I know it's rocking when my homies start bringing crypto up. Oh man, it was funny. So I sent a couple of buddies, a message being like, "Hey, the pumps love it," you know what I mean? And he was like, it just really doesn't get me excited. And then today he's like, "Yeah, I'm starting to kind of get a little excited." So I was like, "Yeah, that's right, man. You start feeling it, you know what I mean? You just start feeling it." So always good feelings as well. Just keep in mind, never get too over leverage with the entire thing. So hopefully that answered the question. Pulse Chain millionaire, future millionaire. Rent money, gone pump. Yep, selling dick now. There you go. There you go. Start selling when the homies start talking. Exactly. For sure. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Disciple in the building sure is. Wonder you're living legend. Sure is, man. And plebeian start ES on Pulse Chain. Incredible. Yeah, that's very odd to actually see the if y'all missed it the other day. X actually had a 9.4 payout per T share on the Ethereum side, which is funny because it's just what we were talking about, where people were staked. They ended their stakes early because they saw a recent 3x pump in the price from where it was to where it is now. And then they literally ended their stakes early. That's not the purpose of it, my friends. But hey, if they want to pay the other stakers ending early and they want to reward the other people for actually holding true to their word, then so be it. I will gladly take that all day, every day. So yes, 9.6 payout per T-share is what the payout was yesterday on the Ethereum side of Hex. And if you aren't familiar with this word and statement that I just said right now, start looking into Hex and actually checking out the staking mechanics behind it as well, because that is the overall big kahuna in this ecosystem that allows a lot of people to just use all the other things as like a gamble or a risk because they've already got themselves stakes set up through the 4-pillar Richard Hart ecosystem foundation, like we discussed all the freaking time. But yes, we've reached a 9.6 hex payout per T-share. Congrats to everyone who was staked yesterday. Once again, if you actually look at that, I believe that's now the 9th or 10th highest. It was right here. So it literally has been the 10th highest payout per T-share. So we've got days where it was 24, 13, 12, 12, 11. And again, we've now hit 9.6. So anytime you're hitting a top 10 payout, congrats to you being staked, doing what you said you were going to do and holding true to your word, because that is what is that's what it's about. So maybe we'll see some people ES in some of their stakes over here on the Pulse Chain side. But at this point in time, it does look like the T-share rate is actually up to 30,124 hex per T-share on the Pulse Chain side, right under 30,000 on the Ethereum side. And now look how much it costs, folks, to get a T-share. Actually, it's now $270. And by the way, this was just now like $60 a week ago or so, right? Keep in mind, it moves fast, y'all. And then you have $475 to get a T-share here. So yeah, big information on that one for sure. Payout, what's up? Yeah, people are ESing for sure. 7 hex payout already on Pulse Chain. Facts, exactly. Wow, tripping. Thanks for the free coins. Exactly, just killing it, ATX. Thanks, Chaztown. Wrecked. Absolutely. 72 people watching. Smash the likes, guys. Much love to the kind words to the audience, to y'all coming through. As we wrap up, remember, guys, the journey of PulseX is akin to a rocket. All it is it's fueling up for a monumental freaking blast off right now. Same for the entire RH ecosystem. The current price surge that you've seen on the post in the recent times is literally but a glimpse of the momentum building up at this time. So if you've enjoyed the dive into the PulseX universe and want to stay updated on the latest happenings, smash the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell so you make sure not to miss any of my previous videos. And remember, as someone once has previously said, don't wait to buy crypto and wait. Y'all, the future's bright and we are just at the dawn of a new era with PulseX coming through. So until next time, keep dreaming big and investing smart. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.